Hey everyone, this is Sunny Justice with It's a Crime and Shame. So of course, before we get started, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell for all updates to do with true crime and sometimes news like what we're going to talk about in this video. So also, if you could give the video a like and a share. So I am from Canada, Vancouver, Canada, as most of you guys know. And I'm really curious what your guys' thoughts are on your president that's not saying much about all that's happening with the balloons in the sky. Are you guys worried? Are you guys upset that your president really isn't being forthcoming to what's going on? Now, I'm going to show you a video that I just finished watching on NewsNation. And again, I'm just curious what your thoughts are. So if you could, please leave them in the comments section of this video.
Nationwide.
Can you explain to us what changed?
Is there any new formal approach that's being developed?
Is there some conversations that are happening that might be able to give us some descriptions?
Should the public be hearing from the president directly on this?
All of those got generally the same answer.
Okay, so basically, like this guy's just going to say in a moment that everyone pretty much got the same answer, which was a bunch of nothing burger. So again, it's like these questions are being posed and Biden isn't even himself coming up to the podium and talking to you guys. So I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are on all this. I'll continue playing the video and let you guys listen, of course, for yourself.
Answer, which was a non-committal response by the White House spokespeople. And now both Democrats and Republicans are saying that President Biden himself should talk to the country and should talk to our adversaries. They listen as well. Putting aside for just 1 second the fact that he is commander-in-chief and leading in times of crisis when our adversaries are sending balloons over the continental United States, that's job number one for a president. Not talking, though, carries major political implications. Former South Carolina governor, ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, officially announces a run for president on Wednesday, and a possible 2024 Republican contender, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, continues to hit Mr. Biden on national security issues. Niall Stanage just finished an exclusive interview with Pompeo, White House columnist for our partners at The Hill, and with us now.
So I just want to ask you guys, Pompeo, is this someone that you guys would like for president? I'm not exactly sure who this gentleman is. I've heard of the name, but if you had to pick him for president, would you in 2024? Again, let me know in the comment section of this video.
Are you understanding from the White House what the strategy behind having Mr. Biden sort of completely silent on this issue be?
I'm not actually particularly clear what that strategy is. Now, clearly uncertainty is a bad thing, and it is particularly a bad thing when it pertains to something as bizarre and as sort of viscerally fear-inducing as unidentified objects overhead. Against that, I think what the White House would say is bad information is even worse than uncertainty. So therefore, they don't want to jump the gun, as it were, and put out things that are subsequently proven to be untrue. If that happened, you would actually exacerbate the problem that you're trying to alleviate.
Well, and they kind of got caught doing that, right? When they initially said, hey, this happened during the Trump administration, they didn't shoot it down. And then the Trump administration folks came back and said, we were never briefed on this. We had no idea. The White House then had to admit, nobody knew about it during the Trump administration, so we can't really blame them. And Secretary Pompeo talked about this with you, about the Trump administration and Chinese balloons. Take a listen.
This is exactly what the Biden administration wants you talking about. Look over here, see this shiny object, Trump, Trump, Trump. Right? This wasn't remotely the same thing. We were, as best I can tell, no one was aware, and this is fundamentally different from what has transpired over the past 2 weeks.
Is the White House worried that they have a weakness on foreign policy that clearly the Republicans are trying to exploit?
There is an awareness that Republicans are trying to exploit this issue, for sure. A weakness on foreign policy is a more difficult question. I mean, I would note that President Biden has on occasion struck quite a hard line on China in relation to issues like Taiwan, for example. Now, the question here, really, in relation to what former Secretary Pompeo said, is these shifting accounts or shifting explanations from within the current administration. You noted that there were early reports that the Trump people had known about this during their time and had done nothing about it. That has now shifted. We have John Kirby from the Biden administration today now saying that the problem, as he sees it, was that the Trump administration did not detect this Chinese program of high altitude surveillance balloons. So
so that's what I wanted to ask you about as well, is that, you know, basically when those were coming over, it's not like I remember them saying that specifically that the satellites and all the different things, you know, were equipped for picking up certain things up in the sky, but not, say, these balloons. So it's one of those things. Now they're saying that they're able to, you know, now that they have a better feel of what's going on, that they're able to detect them faster. But yet we've seen one come over Michigan, we've seen Yukon, we've seen Alaska, and we've seen, of course, North Carolina. So that makes 4. So again, just whatever your thoughts are per this video and the questions that I'm asking, again, just feel free to leave your comments in this comment section of this video.
there are shifting accounts from both sides. Obviously, this has become a partisan clash. Are Democrats believing they have a weak point? I'm not sure that I would go necessarily that far in foreign policy writ large.
No, you make a great point about Taiwan. And to be fair, President Biden has armed Ukraine to whatever extent they've wanted. That scene is certainly a pretty hard line on Vladimir Putin. It's interesting now, not that the 11th commandment of Ronald Reagan, which was Republicans shall not attack other Republicans, has been violated. That's gone by the wayside. I was interested, though, in what Pompeo told you about Nikki Haley ahead of her announcement. Take a listen.
She left some 2 years into the administration when there was still an enormous amount of work to do. Think we hadn't done the Abraham Accords yet. We hadn't concluded our mission with Chairman Kim yet. The pivot to confront the Chinese Communist Party was in its most nascent state. I don't understand how someone who believes that they have this incredible opportunity in an important role says, no thanks, I don't want to do that anymore.
Well, kind of sounds like he's running for president, or at least wants the opportunity.
Well, it does indeed. I asked him, was he leaning in that direction? And he insisted that there was no lean. It was a binary choice that he would make or would not make. But look, clearly that is pretty strong criticism of a fellow Republican in Nikki Haley. Yeah. As you pointed out in your introduction, she's near certain to announce on Wednesday. They are rivals, but I think Secretary Pompeo there basically arguing that she was just there to sort of punch her ticket and then move on, and he resents that for, I think, fairly obvious reasons.
Yeah, or he's just a little jealous that she's more popular than he is, but I digress. Hey, it's good to see you, Niall.
You know?
Yeah, what did you say?
Good to see you. Or both, I said.
Or, well, yeah. Both can be, two things can be true at once, for sure. It's good to see you, my friend. Nice interview.
Okay, you guys, so just again, give this video a like and a share if you can, and of course, just leave your comments in the comment section of this video. Again, just give me your thoughts, tell me what you think. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.